The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the December 11th wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Opening Bell on The Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and I absolutely treasure your presence here today. My outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools that each of us need in order to lead an inspired life. Because leading an inspired life, folks, that's what it's all about. Hope everybody had a great Tuesday evening. Let's have a great Wednesday. Let's go look at one of our tools. This is the tool I call whether you think you can or not, you are right. You know, that was Henry Ford's philosophy. In fact, Seneca once said, a good mind is lord of a kingdom. Look, folks, each of us was born to achieve. Question, is that the first thought that you have each and every day as you wake? Well, what if it were? How would that change your life? Something to think about. Suppose that you and I really believe that we are all children and heirs of this magnificent universe. Look, folks, whether you think you can or not, you are right. Look, some time ago, an experiment was done to train hopping fleas. These hopping fleas were placed into a mason jar. They would do what was natural for them, hop. And, of course, they would bump their heads against the top of the jar. Now, after a period of time, the tops of the jars were removed, yet these hopping fleas would never go beyond where the lid once was. Well, folks, just like the hopping fleas, our self-made limitations, let me underscore that, our self-made limitations can cause us to forget that we really can fly with the freedom of thought versus confine ourselves to the lid in a glass jar. Our invisible prison reminds us from time to time that we can't do this, or we can't do that, or it's not practical, or we're not smart enough, or it costs too much. Folks, all of that is absolute BS. It's all before Steve, because the truth is we can do amazing things. All we need is to remove the lid from our jar. Life, folks, it's not chance. Life is choice. Not chance, it's choice. We can, and we are the builders of our life. We choose our thoughts. It's the only thing we can control. We choose our thoughts, and we establish our rituals, and it's our attitudes that determine our direction. Now, through the power of our mind, we experience that which we focus on. So whether we think we can or not, guess what? We are right. But here's the cool thing. I know you can, and you should too. Let's go check out what these markets can do here. You know, much easier for me when the markets are either up dramatically or down dramatically, running into areas where they're going to stop, just like yesterday morning. We were coming on the show as the market was coming in at 9:30 open. I said, okay, the market is going to go ahead and it has to bounce from here. It has to move sideways. Gave you a target area on the ES Mini. In fact, if we take a look at what was going on here, at 9 o'clock yesterday morning, the market ES Mini, that's a chart that I've got on my screen here right now. The ES Mini was down at the 1802.50-ish area, and as it was getting down there, I said, look, the rubber band has stretched. It has no choice but on this intraday chart to at least bounce, move sideways. But I said if it bounces, the area where we're going to find out whether there's an A to B equals CD down is going to be what? That's right. If you're listening to the show, you heard me say 1808. Hey, I apologize. I screwed up. I screwed up big time because it actually bounced to 1808.25. Now, I know most of you out there, you'll go ahead and you'll give me a break and say, hey, how could you come up with that number? How could you do that? The market was moving down. How could you come up with a number of 1808? I showed it to you if you were listening to the show yesterday. There were really a couple of different tools that I was using. One, on I've got several screens running while I do the shows. On one of my screens here, it's my trading strategies. It helps me to determine whether I want to go long or short from an intraday time period or whatever the time period is that I'm trading on, because I also have core positions that are out there. And from an intraday standpoint, actually, I had things lined up on short-term charts, which are in the 30-minute range, and 120-minute charts, and everything was giving me that same signal, which was, hey, resistance overhead was about 1808. And then, of course, if we just simply went from our swing point high in the ES Mini, that came in at 5:30 in the morning. That was up at a price level of 1811.50, down to the low that we had as we were coming onto the air, and that was at 9 o'clock in the morning out at 1802.50. Well, that was an easy call because 1808 happened to be the 0.618 retracement. Now, I also said that at that stage, we were going to determine whether it was going to be more than a bounce or whether it was going to be setting up an A to B equals CD down. Well, you know what happened? We did get that bounce, then it started moving lower, and coming into about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, guess what it did? It made one of Basil's troughs. It made that fourth level trough, that small letter D. Now, in my system here, let me just go ahead and erase this off of the screen here. This is the Ensign software that I use, and I've created this little tool that allows us to go ahead and easily count the peaks and troughs. Now, because it was much easier for me to use numbers than a lettering system out here, and it's really not a replacement for the Chapman wave. It just helps you understand where the market is at with regard to those 4 or 7 different levels out there. And all I have to do is just simply find the high bar out here and then just simply run over here, run a little tool. In this case here, we're going to go ahead and count down, and you can see moving down to the time period of 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The market was also, if you take a look at the 14-period relative strength indicator out there, was also moving into where? Into a territory of being oversold. Once you get down into the 20 level, and this dipped down to about 18, it says, okay, be careful out there. You then got a nice bullish engulfing candle that took place at 2:30. So if you're an intraday trader out there and you're using some of these tools that we share with you here at TFNN, you got to ask yourself why. Why not use some of these tools? Because they are amazing tools. And if we take a look at the A to B equals CD pattern out here, if we come from our high down to where we saw that little trough level there, what we'll see is that the potential here is for the ES Mini, the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD would take us down to 1797.50. We have not gotten down there yet. Where we have gotten to was about 4:30 this morning. Price moved down to 1799. Will that be the low of the session out here? Well, look, at this stage right now, if we take a look at retracement levels that have been made. Remember, we made the first 0.618 retracement level. That was coming in at that 1808 area. And now if we go on this next leg here, we can see that coming into the time frame of 8:30 this morning, that has made its next 0.618 retracement. That number was 1804. So I would have to say the 1804 level, 1805, that's going to be a key area that's going to give us an indication as to what this market wants to do, at least during the short-term period here, because that could easily just be setting up an A to B equals CD down. And that's what we want to be. That's what we really want to understand is the trend or the patterns inside the markets. Are we now starting to make A to B? I'm going to go ahead and erase this from my screen here so you can see the A to B equals CD down there. It takes us to about 1795. Now, as a probability man out here, right now, everything is pointing to a move down to 1794, 1795, somewhere right around there. That will change if we, in fact, see that will change if we see the area of, let's take a look at these retracements here again. If, in fact, we see a move above the 1806 area. 1806 is your 0.786 level out there. Well, there is that larger A to B equals CD down. I say 1808 again today. So 1808, that's going to be a critical area for us to be paying attention to. Price moves above that, and then that starts to say, hey, you know what? Santa Claus really has arrived, and the Santa Claus rally, which truly did begin. This began here back on Jobs Friday. We saw that nice, wide-ranging bar. All price has really done is come back to what? To a breakout area. You know, if you didn't use volume as your breakout areas, and volume is not the only thing that you should be using when you take a look at breakout areas. What does Tom talk about? Wide price spread, accelerated volume. Well, you do have to be paying attention to wide price spread. And that's what we have here coming into that 9:30 session. Really began at 8:30, but truly took off at 9 o'clock session. And that was on December 6th. So that's what's going on inside of the ES Mini. If we take a look at the a little bit longer-term chart here for the index, let's take a look at the index futures, the ES out here. You can see that wide-ranging bar. Here's the entire trading session for December the 6th. Remember, I said markets don't end on wide-ranging bars like that. What we have seen here is just a move up into the swing point. In fact, price is still traveling in the most recent swing point high out here, and that is from November the 29th. And the low of which is 1802.75. Right now you're trading at 1803.25. So the market just a little bit tired, but really when you take a look at overhead, what are the things? What's the overhead, jar? What's the top of the lid on that jar? You know, I talk about this morning, the hopping fleas and having a lid. Why is it that you believe that the lid on the jar? Why? You got to ask yourself that question. Why is it, if you do believe in going short this market, why is it that you believe the lid from November 29th, from Friday, is the top of the move? What is it about that identifies for you that is the top of the move that we are in right now? Is it the Euro-Japanese yen? Can't be, because the Euro-Japanese yen, heck, that thing wants to travel higher. And as we know, our markets move in accordance with the Euro-Japanese yen. I struggle to find any reasons why the top of the lid of the jar in our markets is at last Friday. We'll be right back, folks.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or TigerTV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Investors, Taz Market Research delivers to its subscribers expert commentary on the analysis of 15 different markets each day. Get this invaluable and timely information through the daily market research videos Taz Market Research produces each day before 9 a.m. The video analysis will include reports on currencies, interest rates, indices, metals, energies, grains, and more. You'll be able to gauge where high profitability setups are in each of the markets. Receive a free 2-week trial subscription to Taz Market Research videos on the front page of TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Really flat in the futures markets right now. Dow futures up 6 points. ES Mini is totally flat. NASDAQ is off a point right now. King Dollar is back 6 ticks. It's trading out at 79.90. Goldilocks is flat, having a nice day yesterday. Silver is up 13 cents, trading out at 20.45. Light sweet crude is back 35 cents, so a flat market out there. Natural gas. Now, the natural gas is back a bit. We'll go take a look at that. We'll go see if there's any kind of a jar on the ceiling of that move higher out there. If we take a quick peek around the globe, very tepid market over in Europe this morning here. The DAX is up 15, the FTSE's up 17, so no big moves out there. In Asia last night, boy, the Hang Seng really gave it up. 405 points to the downside, off 1 7/10%. Nikkei was off 96 points, about 0.6% out there. And the Shanghai down 1.5%, off 35 points. Our call number is 877-927-6648. We do take a look at the Euro Japanese yen. Now, you know, when each of us have a story, I mean, we're all here for some reason. You know, you're all here because we've all been led here because of a story that we've told ourselves. You know, my story got me to where it is that I am right now. I'm so glad. Now, when I talk about the markets and I say, why is it that you would believe that last Friday was the lid on the market if you're looking at the market to be short? All I'm doing, as when you read any story, is I'm on the page that I'm on. I can't read ahead. So I can't tell you what the market is going to do tomorrow. All that I can do, or do really in the next moment out here, all I can do is when the market gives us new information as you turn the page in any story, as you turn your page in life, is be ready to respond then. You know, doing what you know and knowing what to do, those are two totally different things out there. And what we do need to do is we need to be able to read the story. That's what all the different tools that we use here at TFNN, whether it's the lightning bolt pattern of A to B equals CD, whether it's primary trading ranges, whether it's a Chapman wave, whether it's expansions of swing points, whether it's a momentum system, it's all meant to help us to be able to tell a story. Then you've got candlesticks. Candlesticks, they tell a story all unto themselves, and they are absolutely able to help us in our trade. In fact, let's go check in. I don't know really what natural gas is doing here this morning. Let's go see if it's running out of gas by any chance out here. Nah, you know, it gave an indication that it was ready to. And when I say that, you know, right now, that candlestick, that's a bear sash, a bearish engulfing candle out here. It made the 1 to 1.272. Remember the failed Gartley pattern. If you're watching us on TigerTV, there's your 0.786 Gartley sell pattern. Of course, the story there was don't sell that. Don't sell that as the pattern was being formed. Understand where that level is at, but don't sell that. Wait until you turn the next page. And the next page when it comes to trading and investing is a candlestick, because you at least want to see that there is a reversal of fortune. This has been a good fortune. The 0.786 Gartley failed. The sell pattern failed. They turn into butterflies. Butterflies say it's going to be an expansion, one of at least two, which would be the 1 to 1.272 or the 1 to 1.618. Well, when I say expansions, I'm referring to the swing points. I'm looking at where you saw a change in trend. A change in trend that took place here on October 15th. Again, we're looking at the January contract out here. So if you go from the January 14th, October. I'll get it right. I hope I said? I can't remember what I just said. But October 15th, that's where we saw the change in trend. If you go from that swing point high, which was $4.09, all the way down to the low on November 5th, out at 346. If you take the difference of that, you multiply that difference times 1.272, you add it to the low of November 5th, that's at 346. That's going to take you right to $4.26. That's the price that got hit yesterday. So far today, if we in fact, now, the problem here is the body of yesterday's candle is so small, such a small, even if you got this close, if it looked like this here today, pretty tough to call this a reversal of fortune out there. And no matter what, you want to see a second confirmation. You want to see what trading looks like on the following day. If, in fact, the 426 level does not get a reversal out here, even though it is in the overbought status, that says that price will move up to the next level, or should move up to the next level. That would take in at about 447 out here. And at 447, let's go see what kind of retracement that is. That retracement here coming off of the swing point from May in 2013 all the way down to the low that was put in. You'll see right there you've got a 0.6, actually where we're at right now. So we've got two patterns that are set up here. You actually have a Gertley sell pattern, a 0.618 Gertley sell, as well as this 1.272 butterfly. No wonder there's such tough lids on the top of this jar here of natural gas right now. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
With over 3 decades of trading experience, Andy Hecht brings a tremendous amount of knowledge and expertise to each weekly issue of his newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report. The Technomental Commodity Report gives you Andy's unique technomental analysis of the commodities market, a combination of technicals and fundamental analysis which he has developed and perfected over his many years of trading. The Technomental Commodity Report is only $49 a month, and right now you can get a full month-long trial subscription while paying absolutely nothing. See for yourself the kind of weekly report Andy delivers to his subscribers every Thursday morning. You'll receive specific stock, ETF, and option trades based on Andy's analysis, so no futures account is required. For all the details and to start your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, visit TFNN.com today. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're off to the races. We got the Dow up 17 points, trading out at 15,990. S&P is flat. It's trading at 1802.41. Composite is up $2, trading out at 4,062. Russell 2,000 up 83 cents. You know, Composite didn't have any problem taking out that 4,000 level, did it? Something to think about. Apple's up about $4 right now. Microsoft down a penny. Google up $4. Leading the charge. The upside is MasterCard doing a split out here, but they're up $32 right now, trading out at $7.96 out there. I'm going to try to get that stock. I believe it was a 10-for-1 split that they're going to be doing, trying to get that stock down to about the $80 price range, it looks like here. You got Scripps Networks, SNI is a ticker symbol. They're up a nice 6% here this morning. Let me see if I can see. I don't really see why, but we'll take a look at that stock chart. 3M is up $2 and change. North Star Realty, that's up about 17%. NRF is a ticker symbol. They are up about $1.70 or so. Kindred Healthcare, that's up $1.50. You've got Dental Supply. X-Ray is the ticker symbol. I used to have a cat named X-Ray, so I like that. We'll have to take a look at X-Ray out here and see what it is doing. You've got Icon Enterprises leading the charge here again to the downside after flooding the markets with paper out there. Nice job there, Carl. It's down $8.60. Laboratory Corp. LH is a ticker symbol. They're off 7% here this morning. PDC Energy down 4%. Costco off about 2%, down $2.40. Quest Diagnostics, DGX, that's off $1.93. Marathon Petroleum off $1.48. Joy Global down $1.30. Relatively flat market out here as we speak. Let's. I'm going to go ahead and put on my on the screen. If you're watching us on TigerTV, thanks so much for doing that. If you're listening to us on the radio or your mobile device at TFNN.mobi, we absolutely appreciate that. Remember, you can get the live stream of the show by going to the homepage of TFNN.com. Upper right-hand side, you'll see a little button. 3 smartphone devices. You can says watch the live stream now or something like that. Click on it. You'll see this stream live to your smartphone pad type of device out here. And what you're looking at is a little table that I have created. I've been developing a different trading strategy and a system out here, something that really can put the power in your hands to understand. Well, it's really a trend-based system out here. Because I'm a believer, the trend is your friend out here. And so as we take a look at that, and L says the text is too small. Boy, that's about as large. Well, I think it's almost as large as I can get it out here. Let me show you let me explain to you what it is that we're looking at. On this screen here right now, what I have in the upper left-hand side, it's it's many of the indexes. It's got the composite, the Dow, the Russell, the semiconductor index. So the top portion of the chart are the indexes. And I have it separated into the monthly, the weekly, and the daily time periods. And it also tells me the date at which the trend changed. And it helps us to understand, is it in an uptrend, is it in a downtrend? Remember, if you've been listening to me for a while, the importance, and sometimes I need you to remind me about that importance, the importance of just simply being able to understand what the what the overhead trend is. You know, if you're trading on a daily chart out here and you're making decisions on a daily, boy, you got to go take a look at the weekly. Well, in this case here, you get to look at all of the trends that are in place. Down below the index, they got the index ETFs, and they tell us whether we're in an uptrend, a downtrend. And I've got they're also color-coded. So blue, think of blue when you see this screen here. Even if you can't read the text, that's okay. You can see the color. And the color, light blue, that is blue skies, folks. Nothing but blue skies ahead. That is a super strong trend that you see in place when you see those blue skies. When you see green, that green machine out there, folks, that is where you want to start taking a look at. Those are buy points. You know, you've got the green light to go ahead and buy out there. Yellow says caution. It absolutely says caution out there. And red, now not the very right-hand column, but the forget about the right-hand, the very right-hand column at the moment. But red says you're in a downtrend. In fact, right now, the energy sector, the XLE, it's given us a downtrend signal out there. So the weakest sector inside the S&P 500, I can just take a look at this out here, and I can tell you that occurred here today, December the 11th, that it moved into a downtrend signal. That's on the daily trend. In the weekly trend, in the monthly trend out here, no. It is still in a nice uptrend. Then I've got commodities down below. If you take a look at Goldilocks, gold on the monthly, it's in a downtrend. It's in a major downtrend out here. Of course, this is nothing new, but the idea is you could give me a stock. I could input it here right now, and I could immediately tell you on the monthly, weekly, and the daily. And now all this is included in my newsletter service. So if you have not test drove Mastering Probability, now is absolutely the time, because I do scans of different stocks. Each morning you know what's going on inside the indexes, inside the ETFs, inside the sectors out there. And look, if I just wanted to be able to scan for bullish or bearish, right now I'm just going to do the bullish side of the move because that's how I've got the chart set up out here. But if I apply this little filter, boom, this tells us with regard to indexes, ETFs, and the S&P 500 sectors, commodities, equities. Now I don't have any equities that are posted in here, but on all time frames, which ones are in uptrends? On all time frames. Now, if you're a person that's trading, and which I know that you are, or you're making investments out here, so whatever the time period is that you are using for your investment, wouldn't you like to know, would you like to be able to trade in the direction of the trend out there? So this shows us here right now, the NASDAQ 100 in the monthly, in the weekly, in the daily, that is in a nice uptrend out there. The strongest uptrend, in fact, that NDX 100, clearly the strongest. Now, the very right-hand column, it's labeled, it says bullish confirmation, and I'm not going to go into, that's a little proprietary tool. Of course, it's all this stuff here is proprietary, but that one's even more proprietary. That helps us to understand, that you really have the green light special out here. The S&P 100, the OEX, that's in a nice uptrend. That gave us a buy signal here on December the 6th. The Russell 1000, that gave us a buy signal on December 6th. The S&P 500 gave us a confirmed buy signal on December the 6th here. You can see the ETF structures right now. You can see the indexes. They're, if you get one, you can see it, or I could see it. I don't know if you can see it on your screen here. The Russell 1000 is kind of going between, it's moving up and down, so that's under a little bit of pressure here today. Makes sense. The Russell's off 36 pennies here right now, but that's the Russell 1000, not the Russell, the Russell 2000 out here. S&P 500 sectors, the strong sectors out here. The XLK. Now, that is important. Why is that important? Well, the XLK is the number one weighting inside of the S&P 500. On December 7th, that gave us a buy signal, and we did get bullish confirmation. I don't know if it was on December 7th or it was after that, but we do have bullish confirmation on that. The industrial sector within inside the S&P 500 and the consumer discretionary sector, all of those are the three strongest sectors out there. So, how would you use that? How could you possibly use that when the market is done working off some of this overbought condition out here? How could you use that? Which sectors should you be looking at? Is it important for you to take a look at, you want something that's in a nice strong weekly trend, a nice strong monthly trend, and a nice strong daily trend out here? I think that you do. But you can give me a call. We can go ahead and we can punch your equity. We can punch that in on the system, and it will immediately tell us where we are at. Now, if I go turn that off, you can see when it came to commodities, gold, silver, light sweet crude, they disappeared from my screen. I'll go ahead and put them back up here. And we did get a nice move inside of gold yesterday. It gave us a nice uptrend signal out there, as did silver, as, light sweet crude did on December the 10th. Natural gas, that's still in a uptrend on the daily, on the weekly out here. So you go test drive Mastering Probability. I explain more about this. I'm going to be doing a workshop. I guess we'll have the details. Maybe it'll be this afternoon, and then we'll talk about that. It's going to be December 19th, so just kind of note that down on your calendar here, and I'm going to teach you about how to be able to use this system, how you'll be able to create this with your own trading platform as well out there. So that helps us to understand what's going on inside of the trend of the market. Now, that is all of this here is just visually taken from the charts that I create out here, utilizing that same system. So if we go take a look at Goldilocks here right now. Gold here on the daily chart, as I say, gave us a nice confirmed signal yesterday. But on the weekly chart, it has not. And if we take a look at the weekly chart, and so the question that you've got to ask yourself is how important is the larger trend? Where is the overhead resistance out here? And I will tell you, if gold does not close above 1285.30, in fact, close above it and stay above it for a couple of weeks out there, it's not a change in trend. All that this is, folks, is a counter-trend rally. And that's what we really need to be taking a look at here, because what we've got to do is even the system out there that I was showing you, it'll tell you what's going on inside of the currency world. So if I go ahead and I put that up on the screen, let me go back and find that here. I'll show you how easy it is that I can do that here. Let me just actually put the currency futures out here. So let me add that list of my currency futures, the continuous contracts. Now, I have to use the continuous contracts when we're taking a look at it, because when I'm looking at monthly trends and weekly trends, we're about to switch over to March here inside the futures contracts, inside the index futures here, not too distant future, but I need to be able to use continuous contracts out here in order to gather enough data to be able to give me my trending information out here. So as we take a look here, this, so if you trade currencies, you absolutely want to be trading in the direction of the trend. Now, I can also use different time frames, so I don't have to keep this on a monthly, weekly, and daily. In fact, I've got another screen where I'm taking a look at intraday trends, 120-minute, what's going on in a 30-minute, what can be going on in a 60-minute. So this is a very powerful tool out here to help you to identify what is going on inside the markets that you are trading, what's going on inside the equities that are being traded out there. Now, I mentioned we've talked about gold and silver, and yesterday we talked about the currency pair, the euro-US dollar, and the importance here. Right now, you can see the euro is moving higher, as it really should, because it's got some resistance here. It's moving into resistance. Now, this is going to be very key for us. The resistance, the last area of the two last areas of resistance this is a weekly chart that we're looking at. It's the highs from October 25th, and that is at $1.3831. In fact, gold right now, with the euro moving higher, the U.S. dollar index should be it's under a little bit of pressure. It's down 9 ticks. Gold should be up. I mean, after yesterday, in my opinion, gold should be up. It's down to $1.90. Silver's up 8 pennies here right now. The euro, the king dollar, the euro is the largest basket of currencies out here. Gold should really be up. And it's really not. And silver should really be up. Up 8 pennies is no big deal out here. It's the U.S. dollar index is going to be running a significant resistance as the euro makes its climb up to that October 25th high, right around 138.31. You can get a little bit above that, and that's the black diagonal line you're looking at on my screen. That is the real trend line. Now, if in fact we see a close above that area, if we in that area, I'm going to guess is right around 130. I don't like to guess at things, but right now, because I'm utilizing the trend lines out here, it all depends which week that gets hit. If it's this week, for example, that were to get hit, it's right around the 139.3 level, somewhere right around there, 139.4 or so. So right inside this range here, we'll be paying attention to. We're going to be watching this chart here with a lot of passion, and if it can in fact close above that trend line, where price will move up to, it'll move up to this rising price channel, and then that could be a real breakout for the euro. And why could that be a real breakout? Well, if you just take a look at retracements here, if you take a look at the last serious retracement coming off of May in 2013 down to the low that was established out here in July of 2012, what you'll see right now is the area of resistance that we were using, which was the October 25th high. That also was the 0.618 retracement level. You get above the 0.618 retracement level, you get above the descending price channel, you get above the trend line. Now, the trend line, I'm just using the top of the wicks of the candles, whereas the channel lines, I'm using a co-located in either an open or a close. We're using the bodies of the session out here. Well, you get above those areas of resistance, that says, okay, you're going to go up to the next floor. And the next floor, 143.26, and you can see at that 0.786 retracement level, you probably also run into the top of this rising price channel. And we'll see. I can't tell you which way it's going to go. What I can tell you is we know the story of the euro. In fact, we can look at the story. We can go back to the beginning of the story of the euro. Well, at least the beginning of the high out here back in July of 2008 out there. So we want to be paying attention to that because it's going to have an impact on the metals. Should have an impact on the metals. Should have an impact on light sweet crude as well. If we go take a look at some of the other currency pairs out here, let's do that. Let's go see what's going on inside of the pound. The Great British Pound. Well, here's the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. So since we just popped that up and this is what came up on my screen, let's take a look at this now. This is the monthly chart here for the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, and it's showing at this stage here that it is ready to break its descending price channel. Now, it was a false break that occurred inside the U.S. dollar Japanese yen back in 2007. The month of February, it broke above it. It stayed above it for it was not March. It was May of 2007. Then in June of 2007, it was above it, and then boom, price broke right back inside the descending price channel, went all the way back down and tested the lows out there. In fact, it went and hit that primary trading range boundary line of $76.73 right now. We won't know for a month or so whether or not this is a real breakout. But if it is, 108.95 is the next level for the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. I'll be right back, folks.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foresight Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's off 37 points right now. It's trading out at 15,935. ES Mini, it's trading, the S&P is trading out at 1796. It's off 563. ES Mini's trading out at 1796 here as well. Now, what it did during that break, got down to 1794.75. 1794.25 is important. Now, in my newsletter this morning, I suggested to folks and showed the patterns that it was likely what we were likely to say. In fact, let me just pull up the newsletter here. Better to actually just read it. Well, read most of it verbatim because I don't want to necessarily give away what our next move is out here. But let me pull this up on the screen, on one of my screens out here. Let me see if I can read it. So it just goes like this. I said that basically if we take a look at volume over the last couple of days, it's been to the upside versus the downside. If we look at the candle formation over the last couple of days, we've had wide price spread to the upside and small-bodied candles to the downside. If we take a look at yesterday's price action in the markets, it is following along with the euro-Japanese yen as it works off its extreme overbought condition and is likely getting ready to reload. I do believe that the Santa Claus rally has begun and that the Fed is unlikely to deliver coal at its next FOMC meeting. Which is next week, and that's what everybody on TV would have you believe. Of course, that's just simply, folks, my opinion. It has nothing to do with the trading decisions because I simply adhere to the charts and the different momentum breakouts that are out there. And as I go on to say in the newsletters, you'll see in the intraday charts below, we're likely to see early weakness as the market forms a Gartley buy pattern on the ES30, which should take price to the 1794 area. I then go on to describe what our next moves will be and what's going to be required for that. So how do you like that? Would that have helped you in your trading if you were an intraday trade or anything along those lines? What have we seen here so far? Well, we saw a low 1794.75. I'd say that's hitting the 1794 area out there if you'll give me just a few ticks inside of the ES Mini. Now, 1794.25, that's an important level. That is the last perigee line. In fact, if we take a look at the actual Gartley pattern that I had referred to this morning, here's what that Gartley pattern looks like out here. So you can see that is the, and I do believe we could easily see a little bit of a push lower, which is even a dip below that 1794 to get us right down into the 0.618 area, right around 1791 or so. But what we'll see is and the market here is getting ready to do a reversal. Now, that reversal could just mean because it's oversold is all I'm really trying to say out here. So let me be real clear. It's oversold. It's gotten that rubber band has stretched to an extreme area, and that means that the rubber band has to snap. Whether that's a big snapback, whether that's just simply a snap where it's just simply moving sideways or what have you, this market works and the breathing patterns that it has. You know, that was a pretty quick move down to the downside, but it was communicated. It was communicated to me at 6 this morning, at 7 o'clock this morning, at 4 o'clock or 4:30 when I actually got that signal out here. In fact, what time was it? It was at, well, let me see here. On the 120-minute chart, I got to do this. I'm on a different screen here. But we got that signal. It was 8 o'clock this morning here when it gave us that signal that was the likely outcome. And, of course, the newsletter was out by 8 o'clock this morning. So I think gave pretty decent feedback on here. So that is on an intraday basis. What are we going to be paying attention to today? Well, you know, we haven't talked about the VIX index. We'll do that during the next show. Right now you can see a little bit of volatility there, and that's a dangerous thing. But yesterday we saw it close on that 50-day exponential moving average line. Right now that line is at 1391. So just a little bit of volatility here with it being at 1449. It is Wonderful Wednesday, folks. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're off to start your day, have a terrific day. I look forward to seeing you in the morning. Take care and have a great one. What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.